environmental hero a couple of years ago. She's written a fantastic book called Eat Less Water, very important book. And Florencia, I'm going to hand this over to you, and you're going to introduce, you speak a little bit about your work and introduce our next guest. So thank you.
Thank you so much. The work that they do to put this together is tremendous. And it's so important because to gather us all together in this space with this collective energy is really key, because we're facing some serious, I don't want to say the bad word, but we're facing some serious stuff. And by collecting us together on Earth Day, and all of us who are here because we are doing more than just hoping that things are going to get better, that the environment is going to heal itself. We're just hoping for it. And that's not going to do anything. We need to turn that hope into action. And that is what the CEC does with all of their campaigns. And I hope that as you're here today, whether it's on this stage or walking around and talking to folks and the vendors and the different nonprofits, that you walk around with an open heart and an open mind and understand that none of us can be on the sidelines. We all need to be engaged in this and bring our own talents, our own beauty, our own expertise to this cause, because all that we're doing together is to grow well-being for this planet. So whether it's people or the environment directly, we are all growing well-being on the planet, and each of us can do something about that. So my work is with Eat Less Water, and I started with a simple question, which is, can I, as one eater, make a difference on this planet? Because we're facing a planet where half the world population is expected to experience water scarcity by 2030. And 1 billion people today don't have enough water and counting. But I knew as one person that there must be something that I can do. And so that set me on a journey, and I'm no different than anybody else. It landed with me as an idea to think about how can I save water on this planet, and think about it through a book, because that's the talent that I have to write. And so I sit around and talk with farmers about what are the things that I can do as one individual to make a difference in water systems. And what I learned is that I need to partner with regenerative agriculture. Agriculture that does not use fossil fuels. I don't think many of us realize that pesticides, petroleum-based fertilizers, that's all fossil fuels. So when we have the ability to make decisions on a daily basis of what we are partnering with our food choices, how we don't waste food. Most home cooks are wasting 40% of their food, and that's water being wasted, and it's resources being wasted. So there's so much that we can do on a daily basis to be kitchen activists that touches every single part of this globe, and to move away from, I'm not calling it conventional agriculture anymore. While I was here, I got the idea that I'm going to start calling it extractive agriculture. So it's moving away from extractive agriculture that is extracting people and resources, and instead partnering with people, and those farmers need us more than ever, and it's an uphill battle. And they need us to partner with them so that they can continue to do their work to grow well-being for all of us. So that's all I'm going to say about that. So today I am proud, I really am so proud and humbled to be up here to present the Explore Ecology Annual Environmental Stewardship Awards. Because these awards recognize teachers, students, and schools from throughout Santa Barbara who promote environmental stewardship through their education and action. They're not just hoping, they're working towards solutions. And they each have initiated positive change and inspire their peers and colleagues. So the 2023 award winners were nominated by community members who believe that these unsung heroes of Santa Barbara County should be recognized for their efforts to create a more sustainable and healthy world. So let me welcome them out. The winners of the 2023 Explore Ecology Environmental Stewardship Awards are Theo Horn, Student Award. Melissa Wilder, Teacher Award. And I know her, I didn't know she was here. The Green Team at Coastline Christian Academy Class and Club Award. Maureen Granger, School Support Staff. So please join me in recognizing these incredible individuals. And now for our next award, the Green Car Show Award. So this award is given to individuals who exemplify the spirit of our Green Car Show, dedicating their passion and expertise to advancing electrified transportation. And you know, I just want to say something about this too. When I talk about regenerative agriculture as a solution because it's giving more back than what we found. But that's the case for everything. Now is the time to reimagine this place we call home and think about giving more back in all the things that we're doing, whether it's economies, it's our businesses, everything. And so this individual exemplifies that in this innovation. And as we electrify our globe, which is the path forward, we need to not do it the same old way, having big oil, then suddenly start doing electric. But rather, we need to support these small-scale, regenerative innovators. So, with that, the winner of the 2023 Green Car Show Award is Steve Heckerworth from Solectrac. Do you want to just say thank you?
I wanted to say thank you to Santa Barbara, where it all started. On the first Earth Day in 1970, I dedicated my life to finding alternatives to burning fossil fuel, and that's what I've been doing ever since. Been building electric tractors for 30 years. They're finally taken off.
So regenerative farmers can now have regenerative tractors.
Yeah, we talk about the problems with pesticides and herbicides on the farm workers. Well, they have to breathe diesel exhaust and listen to the noise of a jet engine all day long. Electric tractors are quiet and have no exhaust. And they can be charged off the sun. So what separates the rich from the poor is access to fossil fuel around the world. And the sun shines everywhere.
write that one down.
That innovation, right? And we need to be growing our green chemist. I love that terminology too, green chemist, of that innovation and that thinking in our schools as well. Our solution, our change makers. Okay, now this part. Gosh, I hope I don't cry because this woman is just off the hook amazing, as you guys know. It is now my distinct honor and privilege to introduce a true American icon, not simply because of her award-winning work on the screen and the stage, or because of how she's inspired generations of us with her fitness revolution. She is an icon for me and for countless others because of how she's committed herself to the causes that matter to us most. Her entire life has been dedicated to growing well-being, hasn't it? For every facet of the work that she's done, it's about growing well-being for all of us and using her stage for good. In addition to her illustrious acting career, she has long been known for activism and advocacy on environmental issues, human rights, the empowerment of women and girls, and fair wages for tipped workers. Can you believe, I was just in New Mexico. In New Mexico, they pay their tipped workers $2.12 an hour. That's got to change. How can you be thinking about environmental issues when you're having to think about how do you keep your lights on? So that's why all of this work is climate justice work. So in addition to her illustrious career, she chairs this statewide effort to reduce the high rates of adolescent pregnancy in Georgia through community, youth, and family development, training of professionals who work with adolescents, and legislative advocacy. There is no one more committed to the health and well-being of this planet we call home. And no one who shows up to fight the good fight like she does, both through her own work with Fire Drill Fridays and the Jane Fonda PAC, but also in being an incredible ally and supporter of other orgs like our own. And this is just her side stuff. I mean, this is not even her full-time job. I mean, so when we think, oh, I don't have time to do it, remember Jane Fonda, we all have time to do this work. So please give a warm Earth Day Festival welcome to Jane Fonda.
Wow, what a group! Look at you all. I feel like I've come home. Oh my God, I used to live up there at the top of the hill, as many of you know. Oh, I'm just so happy to be here now and to see so many of you here. Thank you for being here. I love you too. What we are here for is to support the Big Oil Resistance Tour, which is traveling all around California, because we're trying to move California away from fossil fuels into a new era of clean air and water and plentiful, healthy, safe, well-paying jobs, right? And energy that is community-controlled and democratic. Doesn't that sound like a dream? Well, we can turn it into a reality if we stick together, if we work together. I am so grateful to the Community Environmental Council, which has every year since 1970 hosted Santa Barbara's Earth Day Festival. And this year is bringing the Big Oil Resistance Tour here so that we can learn, strategize, and take action together, and we can break free from big oil. For those of you who don't know, the Big Oil Resistance Tour, and by the way, we're going to be doing another one next year closer to the election. I mean, this is like all hands on deck. This is a critical time. Yes, girl. We're calling for a future beyond fossil fuels and an immediate end to environmental racism in our state. Yes! Environmental justice is what we're fighting for. We're getting organized because the big oil bullies are lying, as they do so well, ripping off Californians, polluting our air and water, abusing our democratic process, and setting us on a path to climate destruction so they can continue to rake in the profits. I've sure as hell had enough of big oil's greed destroying our state. Have you? Yeah. Yeah, I figured you had. And it's so fitting that we're gathering here in Santa Barbara as we discuss the very devastating consequences of climate change in our communities. As many of you know, it was the oil spill off the Santa Barbara coast in 1969 that catalyzed the creation of Earth Day. But this community knows all too well that the harms of fossil fuels are not just a thing of the past. The country is no stranger. This county, Santa Barbara County, is no stranger to the ravages of oil drilling, both onshore and offshore, as well as climate-driven wildfires, mudslides, and drought. In 2015, the Plains All-American Pipeline ruptured, spilling thousands of gallons of ExxonMobil's oil into the Gaviota coast, devastating local wildlife. And without their pipeline, Exxon had to shutter 3 of its oil platforms off this precious coastline. And since then, the community has fought successfully to prevent ExxonMobil, one of the most powerful companies, oil companies on the planet, from reopening those platforms. 8 years later, they remain offline. Go Santa Barbara! Good for you. And that's not the only victory y'all have had against big oil. Several years ago, 3 oil companies proposed to drill over 750 new oil wells in Cat Canyon near Santa Maria. But an alliance of grassroots advocates, students, and community members beat back the projects one by one. I mean, you all have proved over and over and over again that people power can win. And we're going to bring it back again and again in the coming years. And in 2020, the last of the companies announced it in, I love this, it gave up and went away, tail between its legs, because they said the unfriendly political climate that activists had created. I don't know, you all look pretty friendly to me. It's really inspiring. It's an inspiring example of people power. I'm so proud of all of you. Santa Barbara is just one of many California communities fighting to get off fossil fuels, to get fossil fuels out of our backyards. Do you know that across the state, Californians are organizing a resistance to break free from big oil stranglehold, and it's gonna be a hell of a battle. We have every reason to think they're prepared to spend $100 million between now and November of 24, next year, in order to defeat the setback bill that has been passed. $100 million. People power can defeat that, though. I mean, it's just, I feel like I should become inured to this, but I just cannot get over the gall, I don't know what the words are, that these oil companies, in order to defeat the setback bill, they have been telling people to sign and get paid $90 a signature. Oh my God. They've been telling people that if this setback bill passes, that people are going to start being poisoned in their community. and the price of gas is going to, it's just lies. Lies, and they do it so incredibly well. I don't know if you've seen the ads on television. The ads saying, California needs more oil, we're going to be dependent on, have you seen these ads? They're so well done, but you could get a scientist there to refute every single point that's made. It's all lies. And we're going to have to put our own ads up there, telling Americans here in California, telling us what the truth is. We're going to have to do that in the next year and a half, and we will. Enough is enough, right? It's time to take back control of our air and our water. It's why I'm so happy to see every one of you here. I'm just so happy that there's such a good turnout. And this is why I'm so honored to announce the recipients of the 2023 Community Environmental Council Environmental Hero Awards. These awards honor leaders, individuals, and organizations who've made a significant contribution to the environmental movement. And in the case of our two recipients today, that's an understatement. I've had the pleasure of getting to know these two amazing activists through Fire Drill Fridays, which is my collaboration with Greenpeace USA, and it invites both lifelong activists, these two people, lifelong activists, lifelong environmentalists, and new climate advocates to engage with the climate justice movement and take action for a cleaner, greener, healthier world. I've learned about their tireless dedication to their communities in combating the devastating effects of the fossil fuel industry in California. Their work has had a pivotal impact on California's progress to protect communities living near harmful oil drilling and commit to a future beyond fossil fuels. They're an inspiration to me and to all of the people who know them, and I'm proud to call them fellow firefighters in the fight for a livable planet. First, I want to recognize and present the 2023 Santa Barbara Earth Day Environmental Hero Award to Cesar Aguirre. I told, before I came up here, I said to Cesar, I wish that Cesar Chavez, he was named after. Cesar Chavez was alive. Cesar would have loved this guy. Oh my God. Wow. Let me just tell you a little bit about him. Don't be embarrassed. Oh, look, you've got the award already. As a child in a family of migrant farm workers turned community organizers, Cesar was introduced to community organizing and advocacy at an early age. In 2017, Cesar joined Central California Environmental Justice Network, where he works to help fence-line communities in Kern County protect themselves from oil and gas pollution and advocate for systemic change. Cesar is a tireless advocate for his community's health. Through Arvin Air Quality and Improve, that's an organization, Improve, he has trained residents on how fracking and fossil fuels are negatively impacting their neighborhoods. Last summer, yeah, boo, right, boo-hoo. Last summer, when dozens of wells were discovered to be leaking, they were leaking explosive levels of methane in Bakersfield. He organized quickly to alert residents, train community members on the collection of data using PM monitors and bucket samples, and urged the state to intervene. Cesar, yeah. Wow. He's not even 30 and he's done all this. Cesar is an instrumental voice in the fight to end neighborhood drilling and has personally played a role in influencing the governor to sign into law a 2,200-foot health and safety zone, buffer zone between communities and oil drilling. Frontline communities have been fighting for this for decades. And it finally happened, and this is what the oil companies are trying to undo, right? Cesar is a co-founder of California Youth versus Big Oil. Woo! I love that. With Nalleli, and with Nalleli is a co-host of the Big Oil Resistance Tour that you're welcoming here today, which is a roadshow across California to grow the grassroots movement for a future beyond fossil fuels. Please welcome Cesar.
Thank you, everyone. It fills my heart with joy seeing so many people here. And one of my mentors, his name is Lupe Martinez. He's my dad's best friend. They both organized for the union in the 80s. And Lupe was the one that brought my dad into environmental justice. And what he told me before every community meeting is the most important thing when connecting with people is an education of the heart. An education of the heart. I've never spoken to anyone, not even an oil worker or a community member that wants an oil and gas drill in their backyard. Especially oil workers, they know the danger and they want that protection more than anyone else. And what do oil companies do? They spend $20 million, a small fraction of a percentage of their profits in 1 year, to kill a law that we've been working for decades, that will protect people where they eat, pray, live. This is important. It's happening now. And one thing that Jane put into perspective 2 days ago, we have a window to make change. There is hope. We are the ones. The difference between whether or not Earth will be sustainable and livable for us, it happens within our lifetime. So we are the ones that have to stand up and fight back. Because when our land is under attack, what do we do? One more time, when our land is under attack, what do we do? That's right, that's right. The reason this is important, and I hate to have to be the one to tell you this, is because we cannot trust our government to protect us, to enforce the laws that exist that are supposed to protect us. The wells that we're leaking in our backyards, we're doing so because inspections are done over the phone. They don't come to our neighborhoods. They don't see the condition of these wells. And these wells leak methane, which is bad for the climate. They leak pollutants that are carcinogenic, which is bad for public health. And they're found at explosive levels, like Jane said, which puts our public safety in danger, right? No one is ever going to convince me that they should put this next to my niece's school, next to my home, or next to the home of any of my community members. Thank you so much for being here. And when our land is under attack, what do we do? That's right. Thank you so much.
It fills me with hope. It fills me with hope to meet young people like this. The next award that I want to present, the 2023 Santa Barbara Environmental Hero Award, goes to Nalleli Cobo. And if you knew her like I knew her, you'd be applauding louder than that. Nalleli is the 2022 Goldman Environmental Prize winner. This is the most important environmental award in the world. She won that last year, and is co-founder of People Not Pozos. Nalleli grew up in South Los Angeles and launched her activism while still a very young girl. After noticing foul smells emanating from the oil well across the street from where she lived. Over the years, Nalleli endured headaches, nosebleeds, and heart palpitations caused by pollution from the well. At times, her nosebleeds were so intense she had to sleep sitting up so she wouldn't choke on her own blood. Nalleli began attending meetings and rallies with her mother, and at the age of nine, gave her first public speech on the issue. Nalleli's oratory skills and her compelling personal story caught others' attention and paved the way for her to eventually become the leading spokesperson for banning oil extraction in Los Angeles. And listen to this. She was so effective at fighting that oil well that they had to put her into a witness protection program at 9 years old. I mean,
I know.
she co-founded People Not Pozos, which means wells, people not oil wells, to secure safe and healthy neighborhoods. And also the South Central Youth Leadership Coalition, which focuses on environmental racism in the community. In March 2020, Nalleli led a coalition to permanently shut down a toxic oil site in her community that caused serious health damage to her and to others. Her organizing against urban oil extraction has now yielded major policy movements within the Los Angeles City Council and the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors, both of which have voted to end new oil exploration and phase out existing drilling sites in Los Angeles County. I brought the governor's wife, who was a friend of mine, Jennifer Newsom. She's a filmmaker. I brought her down to Wilmington and to the place in South Los Angeles where Nalleli lives, and she met Nalleli and talked to Nalleli, and I think, because that's what women do, right? I think she put a bee in her husband's ear. I think that's why he passed that 3,200 foot. I think it was because of Nalleli. Don't tell anybody, though. Nalleli also served as the host of my Fire Drill Fridays last summer when I wasn't able to be there, and I had the honor of presenting her with the Goldman Prize last year. And I have tremendous love in my heart when I announced that she has received this Santa Barbara Environmental Hero Award. It's also with sadness that I tell you that Nalleli is not able to be here today. She had what I think was a very serious asthma attack. And I think we're going to see, are we going to see a video? Okay, she made a video, and for the moms here who have children who are asthmatic, you're going to recognize the signs. So let's see the video.
Hi everyone, this is Nalleli Cobo. I would like to apologize for my absence in being there today, but unfortunately, I suffered a really big asthma attack and I need to stay home and be near my doctor. I wish I could be there in person, and I wish the circumstances were different, but I am there in spirit with you all today. I would like to thank the Community Environmental Council of Santa Barbara for this incredible award and an incredible honor. I'm truly honored and privileged to be receiving this award alongside my friend and amazing organizer, Cesar Aguirre. I dedicate this award to all frontline communities across the state of California and nationwide fighting for their basic human rights of breathing clean air in their homes and access to clean drinking water. When we stand together and fight together, we win, and we will win. Thank you again for this incredible honor, and I hope to see you all soon.
You can hear it, right? Yeah. She's so sad that she couldn't be here. And you know what else? Because of that oil drilling, she got cancer of her reproductive organs and had to have them all removed when she was 19. This is what the oil companies do to people. Anyway, let's, do we have an award for her that Cesar is going to receive? Maybe they forgot that part of it, but. Okay, Cesar, wherever you are, you be sure to get this award to Nalleli, right?
I'll be seeing some of Nalleli pretty soon here on the rest of the tour, but Nalleli is a big believer in the story of David and Goliath. So I'd like to invite you to look to your left and right, because the 9-year-old standing next to you could be the next David that we need to topple the Goliath that is fossil fuels here in California. So thank you very much. I wish you could have heard it from Nalleli because she's one of my role models. She's much younger than me, but she's one of my role models and mentors, and she has one of the most powerful stories. So, que viva Nalleli!
We have a huge fight in front of us. You know, as Cesar said, this century, this decade, not the century, the decade, the 2020s, this is the decade that is going to determine whether there's a future that's worth living in. And we have 7 years left in this decade. And so we're going to have to, you know, this is all hands on deck. They have a lot of money, but they don't have you all. And we're going to have to, you know, just talk to everybody about the climate. Talk to everybody about it's here, we're experiencing it, but if the planet warms anymore, ecosystems are going to start to collapse. Ecosystems that we depend on for our lives, like the ocean, which supplies us with oxygen, and the forests that supplies us with a little bit of oxygen. And those two things together allow us to live. You know, even dogs don't shit in their own kennel. We're destroying the planet, and we have 7 years to stop doing it and to force the most powerful corporations in the world to stop. So I just want to thank you so much. So stay tuned. There's going to be more updates. I mean, I can't tell you exactly what's going to happen, but I know that we have to be prepared to stand up and fight and be in the streets in the biggest numbers that we possibly can. Yes. And I also want to say, when you vote, when you go to the polls, go with some knowledge about the people that you're voting for. You can find out whether somebody you're considering voting for takes money from the fossil fuel industry. And be especially aware of those goddamn moderate Democrats. The California legislature has these moderate Democrats that they take money from oil, and then they prevent the right legislation from passing year after year after year. I stand here in front of you, my friends in Santa Barbara, and pledge that I will not stop until I defeat those guys. We're going to get them out of office. And we're going to replace them with climate champions, and maybe some of you out there would be interested in running for office. I have a climate pact. We're going to get rid of them, and we're going to replace them with people that care more about people than corporations, right? Okay. See you next year. CCEJN.
Jane, wow, thank you. Let's give it up again for Jane. That was just amazing. A huge shout out to Jane, Nalleli, Florencia, Cesar, and all of those folks, everyone who's fighting the good fight against that extractive economy, and really all of you, because what Jane just said there was really important. They have money, but they don't have
people power.
Say it again. They don't have us. One more time. They have money, but they don't have
people power.
That's right. We have folks. We have millions of people around the world globally putting themselves bodily into this fight. And really, it's the fight of our lives, making personal sacrifice. I stood on this stage a few years back with James Cameron, who we were giving him the Environmental Hero Award. James Cameron, filmmaker, he had on a shirt that said, "Hope is not a strategy." That's absolutely true. We've got groups like Last Chance Alliance, the Central Coast Climate Justice Network, CAUSE right here, the Sunrise Movement, Fearless Grandmothers. We all met this morning before the festival started and basically outlined those strategies that we are, the policy strategies and the activist strategies that locally we're all focused on. And I just want to give you a little bit of hope here. 10 years ago, there was no climate movement. And today we have created a really, as Jane said, unfriendly political climate in a way that we can be proud of. So remember that we're on the right side of history. Thank you all for coming out. Yeah, and if I could ask